Welcome to episode 62 of A Message From. We're your hosts. I'm Edward.
I'm Alyson.
And you have some news for me that you were not allowed to tell me before, and I would like to know now.
Oh, I mean, I totally could have told you. It's not, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that exciting, but I'm just like, I feel very you right now.
That could either be a very complimentary thing or just an absolute drag.
So I decided to do a 30-day language learning challenge. Yeah, so I saw this template on Pinterest, and I was like, I definitely got to change some things and make this my own. There were a few things on there that I was like, this is stupid. I'm not doing that.
What was stupid? I would love to know.
So I wrote out my 30-day language challenge, and I'm starting today. You could tell,
okay.
Yeah, so today's day 1. You could tell that it was like kind of sponsored by a platform called Memrise. Because that was day 1, was like, download Memrise. And I'm like, okay, no one's going to be saying that. I checked it out. I did check it out.
Was it worth it?
Well, you have to pay for it, so I didn't do it. And that's why I changed that one. It looked like a more, I want to say like almost like a better version of Duolingo, because there were actual, like, the activities were similar, like finish this sentence, speak this, record this, fill in the blanks. Yeah. But there were like actual people. Like, I think it's like they have actual humans that like record videos and like are part of the app. But I was like, I'm not paying for this. So I changed day 1 to just make sure that I like up my daily Duolingo goal.
Okay, so what is in this challenge? What does this challenge consist of for 30 days?
Okay. It's a variety of written, spoken, listening, and then like interactive exercises. So for example,
okay.
One of them is follow 3 YouTubers, and then I added watch 1 video from each that day that I do it, because I already follow a lot of Italian language YouTube channels, and I watch them regularly, but a lot of them aren't. There are a lot of like cooking ones, so it's a very niche level of like vocabulary and things like that. So I'm going to branch out there.
Okay.
One of the ones that I changed was like, it was like follow 3 social media influencers. I'm like, I already follow so many Italian social media accounts. And
I think you definitely got that one.
So I swapped that. But some of the other interesting ones are like, one day I have to record myself speaking and then like listen to it back.
Fun. Yeah.
There's a free write day that I added in. I swapped that out for something else that was like another dumb one.
What was that? I love hearing about the dumb ones.
It was, how has this 30-day language challenge helped you? That was the last day.
That.
And I'm
no.
What a waste. That's not even an accomplishment. So I changed that to free write. One of them's like write 5 positive sentences and write 5 negative sentences. Like, so
like,
there are a few.
Like in the negative or like.
In the negative, not like, this is stupid. Like, not that kind of negative. But like, yeah. In the negative.
Is this like for beginners, this challenge?
It didn't say. So a couple of the things I was just like making it a little bit more challenging than the template suggested.
I was going to say the 10 sentences seems fairly simple.
I mean, it can be as simple or as difficult as you want, right?
Okay, I guess it is adaptable in that sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, I know my level, so I can try to challenge myself. You're not going to be like,
I swim, I don't swim.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
Good.
Yeah, so I'm excited. Today's day 1.
And you're doing this with Italian?
With Italian, yes. And then maybe afterwards I'll do it with Spanish.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
So it's a mix of actual language studying and also like resource not collecting, but gathering.
Yes and no. The ones that were like resource gathering, those are the ones that I tended to make more complicated or adapted, right? Because one of them was just like, follow 3 YouTubers. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm actually going to find 3 new ones that are language heavy. I'm going to watch their videos. Like,
yeah. Because just finding 3 of them is like, then what do you do with that?
Exactly. And one of them was like, make a Pinterest board. I already have a Pinterest board for language learning. So I put on there, like, actually go to the various things that I've pinned and then like utilize those resources. So like I know one of them is like books, so I'm gonna find a book on there because one of the day's challenge is like read a short story. So I'll actually go on there, find a book that I can read, and then one day is like watch a movie, and then another day is like watch a TV series episode.
Easy.
So I know I have pinned a couple of lists also of like Italian movies and TV shows on Netflix to watch if you're learning the language. So I'm like,
right.
Okay, I'm actually going to go through and like utilize these resources that I've been collecting and not doing anything with.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a good idea. Maybe I should do a 30-day challenge. But I don't know if I would need to be out here following a bunch of people on YouTube and stuff.
No, you would definitely need to adapt yours to fit your level, you know?
Well, yeah. Well, I could do it with Catalan. Because I'm, like, strangely very into learning Catalan right now. Like, seriously. As in, like, I want to speak it often. Very random. Actually, very random. You've never seen this TV show, I don't think, but it's called Merli. And it's a Catalan TV show. And it, like, got really popular because there's, like, the kid in it. It's, like, gay or whatever. And obviously it's set in Barcelona, blah, 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 blah. It was on Netflix and it was only available in Netflix Spain, I think. And it was only available with Spanish or Catalan subtitles. And I was like, well, I'm not going to read the Catalan subtitles. So I actually had to like really pay attention because I can't do the whole 2 different, like different voices than what the mouth is doing.
Oh, I hate
Kudos
dubs.
to people who can, but I cannot do that.
Anything dubbed. I will read a subtitle all day long. Before I will watch
exactly.
something.
So I had to put it in Catalan and listen to that, but then also read the Spanish subtitles. And the first half of the first season, it was like very much homework and not enjoyable. But then I got to a point where I actually like didn't even need to read in a sense because I could like kind of understand what's going on. And I found they did a spinoff of that series, and it was only available on like one of the Spanish streamers. And now I noticed that it's on Netflix, so I gotta watch it.
Fun.
So anyway, that being said, I'm intrigued by your language thing.
I will send you the original list. I will send you my adapted list, and then just give some ideas, some good ideas.
Send me those, and we'll put them on the Instagram so people know what you change, and they can follow along with you if they want.
Yeah, okay. Good idea.
And they can see what's different from the previous one. They can choose there's a fork in the road. You choose your path.
Yeah. And the changes that I made weren't huge, but,
But still, significant. You didn't download the app.
I did not download that
You're not
app.
doing any self-reflection at the end.
No.
Because, honestly, those are dumb. So
I'm too good for self-reflection.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Goodness.
Speaking of things that involve being online, I today decided to watch the latest episode of RuPaul's Drag Race. And while I do that, because I don't really need to pay attention, because it's like kind of boring, I scroll through Tumblr. And at the same time, it's very fun. And so I'm scrolling through Tumblr and I noticed that I'm getting a lot of like recommendations for blogs that are like Guild Wars 2 related, which is that video game that I play on the computer. And I was like just sort of perusing this stuff and being like, oh, okay. And then I started noticing that a lot of them were like sponsored people who like stream and stuff. And I have never been a person who really understood the appeal of streaming, right?
I'm loving this. I'm so excited right now. I'm like trying so hard not.
Are you? Do you watch streamers?
It's like my dream. I don't watch streamers, but I like follow a lot of people who on other platforms who are also streamers, and I'm just so like, it hits me in my heart, where I secretly just want to be like a YouTuber as my job.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just want to be like a streamer or a YouTuber, but I will never like take the step to
you never will. I don't understand why, but you never
put
will.
myself in that position.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. We've talked about the unboxing videos. That would be great. My
unboxing videos would be so popular.
I would teach you how to edit those videos, but I would not edit those videos for you.
I'm gonna take you up on this. You're gonna edit for me.
Well, don't forget, one of the things that we said that had to happen for the podcast in 2022 was you have to edit
episode.
So you might want to prioritize editing courses with me. But anyway, That being said, I noticed that a lot of these people were streamers. And so while eating lunch today, I half called my parents, chatted with them while making lunch and eating a bit. And then the call ended and I was, it was too late for me to watch an episode of Bob's Burgers. I didn't have enough food left. So I was just like on my phone and I was like, why don't I just download Twitch and see what this is about? So I download Twitch, I zoom around, look for the little Guild Wars stuff, and I'm like seeing some people, and I'm like, this is a nice app, blah, 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 blah. And I start like just watching this one girl play the game while eating my lunch, and it clicked. I get why people like to watch streamers. And I was just like, oh, I could spend so many hours wasted just watching people play video games. It's
oh my gosh, absolutely. There are a lot of the younger Formula One drivers are streamers also, and I'm like, I see a lot of like clips and stuff from their streams. Yeah, so. But there are other people that I follow too that stream, and then like some YouTubers that I follow will do live streams on YouTube regularly, and I'm just like,
live streaming. Hello. Yeah, of course.
Obviously, there's a difference between like streamers and then like a live stream, but.
A bit, but I think on Twitch also you don't have to play video games. Like you can do other things on it, I think. I don't really know. It's a new world for me. I'm perusing. Yeah. But yeah, I was just like, wow. And also because the computers that they use are obviously very nice for the most part.
Insane. Their setups are insane.
Oh, the game looks so much different than the way I play it.
Like people who have a stream room and they've got like the fancy chairs and all the setups and all their screens and everything. And I'm just
I get the fancy chair. Sitting in uncomfortable chairs playing video games for a long time is not the mood. No. So that was my big thing for today. I downloaded Twitch, and while I may not become a streamer anytime soon, and probably never, I will be eating and watching people play video games.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I could see you streaming. Oh, you have big news? I didn't know you have big news.
I could stream.
Yeah, you could. Of course. Your like stream of consciousness is insane enough for any type of stream / YouTube endeavor. And you know this, but you just won't take the jump to edit.
I know. Anyway, we'll talk more about that later.
You have a different computer now. Your life could change.
My life could change.
Yeah.
My life could change.
Anyway, you said you had big news. I thought the big news was your challenge thing.
Oh, well, you already know this news, but I never made like a formal announcement that I'm going to Scotland.
Oh, yes, you are.
Going to Scotland.
Yeah, so if anybody listening has any racks, they should get at you.
Yeah, send them over. I've already saved like 90 places on Google Maps.
When are you leaving again?
I leave May 3rd at 9 p.m. my time.
So people, you have a month to get your must-dos and must-not-dos.
You have 1 month to get those in. But I've been doing a lot of research, obviously. Places I want to go, what I want to do and things. And apparently, Glasgow is like festival central. Like, they have just all these really great festivals every month. And so I'm like, okay, well, let me check out their schedule, see what is going on while I'm going to be there. And there's definitely like a coffee festival going on while I'm there. And I think there's like a reading one too. I'm like, this is perfect for me.
Interesting. Sorry. When I heard festival, I thought of something different, but that's like tainted by my living in Spain. Because
I go,
like town festivals is what I got confused with. So this is just like stuff festivals.
The city of Glasgow. So they have different things, and some of them are more like holiday related or like certain time of year, like in spring, like what kind of like foods and plants, and, you know, that kind of stuff. Like
right, foods and plants.
Yeah.
Yeah, spring.
Foods and plants, yeah.
And but so you're going to be there during that coffee one?
I'm going to be there during the coffee festival. And
Lit. You love?
Exactly. And I'm going to be there during the book festival. So I'm like, okay,
perfect.
Checking all this stuff out.
Yeah. Those are, you know, if I had to choose like 2 or 3 topics of festivals to be centered around for you to go to, those are probably those are 2 of the 3.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the third one would be. No, the third one would be
food or fitness.
It would have to be fitness related.
Yeah.
Like a boxing festival.
Boxing festival.
That's what it would be. Coffee, boxing,
Incredible.
and reading.
Coffee, boxing, and reading. That's all you need. That's all you need. Yeah, I'm very excited about that. After all this exciting news, why don't we take a break? Soak it all in. Everybody think of some good recommendations for me if you've been to Scotland. And we'll be back. Hello, everyone. Alyson here. Just wanted to say that we want to hear from you. So send us a message at 202-630-4509 or email us at amessagefrompod@gmail.com. Also, don't forget to rate and review and check out amfpod.com for bonus content. Now back to the show.
Welcome back from the break. As always, we hope you enjoyed it.
I think today, I sound a little bit happier when I say that.
Yeah, well, it sounds insane when I say it. Like it hurts to say with my words, my mouth.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
You just want people to suffer during the break.
No, that's not what it is.
It's okay.
It's just, it's corny, but you're right. There is nothing else to say. So it's like, it's stuck between a rock and a hard place, right?
No other options. Gotta say it.
True. But today we have a message from Aubree again. Thank you, Aubree, for sending in a message first off. Let's get into what she has to say.
Hey there, y'all. It's Aubree. Back at it with another voice message for y'all. Oh, shit. Car's about to run me over. Okay, let's get it going. So, also, sorry for the background noise. It's 11:30. On a Friday night in Madrid. I'm galloping around the city in this 30-degree weather. So, anyways, if y'all hear shrieks or any other loud noises, I'm so sorry. So, I don't know about you, Alyson, but I know Edward and I have seen some crazy things in Spanish schools. Just a lot of crazy things. So crazy that at this point I think nothing even phases me anymore. I mean, there have even been kids that have vomited on some of my friends' shoes before. So, anyways, I would like to know if either of y'all have any crazy stories y'all would like to share from y'all's time teaching. So, I'd love to hear what y'all have to say, and thanks for letting me send this in. Bye, guys.
I am so unbelievably excited to discuss some of the stories that I have got in the bank over the past 8 years of teaching.
Yeah, I just have to say, thankfully, I don't have any vomit stories.
None come to mind, but I know that I do. I know I have at least someone has shit their pants, someone has peed their pants, someone has vomited, 100%. But I can't think of anything specific because it's true. Yeah. Like she said, that shit does just not faze me anymore. Literally, it does not faze me anymore. So you've only, how long did you teach again? Just the year in France?
Yeah, I only taught for the year.
Yeah, so you did that for 1 year and said, I'm good.
Yeah. No, honestly, I wish I had done it for a second year. You guys always used to get so annoyed with me, but I had a really good experience. I got super lucky. Don't get me wrong. I had a couple of demonic classes. I had a couple of classes where I was like, you kids are just evil. But for the most part, everything was really good.
My entire school. Evil. Literally evil.
Most of my school was great, but
you did get very lucky.
Yeah. Early on, some of the stories are like things that I did that were dumb. Like when I accidentally used permanent marker on the whiteboard.
Oh, yes, I've done that.
Early on, and I went to erase it, and I was like, oh boy.
I did
what
that.
Am I going to do?
I did that after yelling at a class and had to like pretend that I wasn't permanent.
I didn't discover until everyone else was already gone. So I was like, thank you, Jesus. Like, I'm teaching the same lesson to both classes, so it didn't matter. And then everyone was gone. It was the end of the day. I'm trying to erase, and I was like,
how did you get it off?
I just left.
You just left?
I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't know where to go.
Custodian?
I couldn't spot any. I didn't see any at the time. There weren't any around. The custodians got it off, though.
Do you want to know how to get it off?
Well, I know nail polish remover gets it off. And then I would assume, I would assume some cleaners get it off.
Yeah. Like, you just get some rubbing alcohol and it comes off like nada.
I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do now? It was gone the next time I went in to teach another class.
Well, they definitely know who did it.
Well, yeah, because it was all English written on the board, and I was the only loser teaching in that room.
Yeah. I guess I should tell. Well, speaking of France, I've got quite a few stories from France.
Yeah.
I've seen things such as I've seen a teacher punch a student in the face. I've seen a student push a teacher down the stairs from the second story. Oh, yeah. Do you not remember this? There's not much to it. They got into a fight and punched him in the face.
Oh,
and then
gosh.
The other teacher, this was a different teacher and a different student, also got into a fight and pushed him down the stairs. The teacher down the stairs. Yeah. So I was always trying to be the cool teacher so that I was not in any of these predicaments. And I wasn't.
Attacked. No.
But I was. Remember how I did YouTube videos, right? Obviously.
Yeah, well, of course.
Yeah, of course. I did one day, I think it was when I turned 23. I did a video about turning 23 things I've learned at
Yes,
age 23,
I remember that video.
Like the dumbest sin. And I started it off with some Miley Cyrus Best of Both Worlds, Hannah Montana, for some reason at the beginning. Don't know why I did that, but I did. I come into the room, and before I enter, I can hear the song being played. And as soon as I walk into the room, it stops. And I know they're watching the YouTube video. That's more embarrassing for me. Yeah, but that was all at that secondary school.
Oh,
my
man.
most insane story. My most insane story, and it sounded like I said it wrong, from that school involves a lesson where I was teaching prepositions of place, but more like directions, like above, below, next to, like those prepositions of place. And I was using the U.S. map because while the East Coast is a mess, the West Coast is very organized. So it's very easy to be someone would be like, where is Colorado? And they'd be like, oh, it's next to Utah. And then a kid would figure it out on the board, and then the next kid would come up. It was actually a very good lesson, if I say so myself, except for Alaska and Hawaii. Those ones were messes because you can't very easily locate them.
No.
Doing that lesson with this class that was all my classes were disengaged, but this one was truly
extra
disengaged. I had a kid who was just smoking weed out the window. We had another kid who was shoving another kid in a closet. I had another girl who was the only one who was answering the questions and doing them correctly on top of it, was getting her hair cut by another student while that student was singing Mamma Mia. I'm not even kidding. I literally, this was the day after Thanksgiving. I think I was super hungover from coming from.
Oh my gosh. Don't even talk to me about Thanksgiving. I was so annoyed because I was supposed to be at that Thanksgiving with you. This was before we were even friends. And there was the whole fiasco with my apartment. And then I had to meet up that day to return the keys. And then my stupid landlord never even showed up anyway. It was a whole.
Yeah.
I missed Thanksgiving party for this.
You did. And I wish I would have missed it because the lesson I had to teach the class I had the next day was truly, I was just hungover eating a baguette sandwich while this was happening and me just being I don't get paid enough to deal with any of this.
No.
So I was
That's
go
wild.
ahead. I don't care. I was I do not care. Just as long as you can figure out where Utah is and say the sentence right.
I had a couple classes that were bad, but after the teacher kind of warned me. She was like, this is kind of a tougher group. Like, let me know if anything goes wrong. And there was one day where I was like, they were just awful. And she laid into them. And she basically was like, you guys are never going to see her again if you don't start acting right. And like, they didn't get to come see me. They didn't get to come see me for a while. And then after that, they were good. I was like, okay.
I always threatened to be like, you will never see me again. To the other students, and they'd be like, no, don't send me back, don't send me back. And I was like, okay, then you don't have to participate, but you need to shut the fuck up.
Oh, yeah. There were a couple students that I straight up was like, if you don't want to be here, you can leave. Just go back to your class. Like, if you don't want to be here, I don't care.
It does not matter to me at all. I did have a few classes that same school that they hated their teacher, which I understood towards the end of the year. And she just like would not show up half the time when I had class with her. And the rooms were locked, right? Like you had keys, right?
So I had to go. I had codes for a couple of the rooms. I did have one set of keys for something. I don't remember what it was that I kept with me all the time. I mean, all the teachers just had keys. Our school just had keys. So these kids would just normally, and I would also just chill outside the door. And then when it got close, I'd like let them in. And half the time we would just like sit in the classroom, and then it'd be like 10 minutes would go by. And they'd be like, is she coming? And I'd be like, I guess not. So what do all of you want to do today? Because I was only supposed to teach you guys in groups of 5 or whatever. Like, so they ended up being like really nice to me because they liked me a lot more than her. But they had asked the principal to switch teachers. And the principal was like, no. And the teacher had asked the principal to switch classes, and the principal was like, no, like, what is wrong with you people? And they had also, that class had ordered pizzas to the classroom, and the teacher had to pay for them. It was so insane. That teacher also talked shit about every single one of them as soon as I walked in on the first day. And there was a few kids who were like French British. And so there was one in that class, and the kids who didn't speak any English were like, what is she saying? And he just turned around and was like, she's talking shit about all of you guys. And I was like, oh, this is going to be a good year. But boy.
Outside of secondary school, like, obviously that school itself was insane. But I've had like just as many insane things happen with like little kids.
Yeah, no, there were a few little kids I worked with, but it wasn't in a school setting. It was just like private tutoring. Like there was one girl that I would pick her up from school on Mondays and like walk her home and give her English lessons.
But she was like an angel?
No, actually, I always had to wipe her butt after she pooped. And I'm like, you're old enough to wipe your own butt. What are you doing?
No, I literally would never.
No, I can't. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, you can do this yourself. I was like, you can do this.
Yeah, you have to.
I promise you. Like,
or you will sit there all day.
Maybe your mom does this for you still, but I'm like, girl, you're old enough. It's time.
Nasty. No.
Yeah.
No. I only ever worked with the lowest age I've worked with is a 4-year-old, but that was outside of school. But speaking of private classes, I've taught like 1 million private classes in total, it seems. It feels like it. And I had one kid who, he had some behavioral issues, but he was also really cute. So it was kind of like, you'd like let some things slide because he was like adorable, but then he was a monster. Like he would chew his classmates' erasers and like all these things. A disaster of a child. I taught him outside of school as well. So all the teachers would be like, oh, like, who are you teaching after school today? And I'd say this child's name. They'd be like, Godspeed. And I'd be like, yeah. I've had to like escort him after class to like his friends, like, or to the downstairs patio in his building, or like to his friends and stuff. And he like literally, like with most children that age, like they will hold your hand automatically because it's like what they do, even though we're like, we're taking an elevator and walking like a little bit. Yeah. And he just like would be like, no, I can do this by myself. I don't even need you. And I'd be like, sure, but I do have to go in the elevator with you. Like you can't go by yourself. And he would just talk to me in Spanish, and I would just reply in Spanish because it's all I could do. He would also just have full-on tantrums in the middle of class where he would just throw anything in range halfway across the room, including like lots of toy cars, which are like hard.
That would hurt getting hit with one of those.
Yeah. Especially if you're a glass table. Not great. The look on your face. But we would spend 30 minutes together because he just like couldn't do more than 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. And about 10 minutes of that was him collecting all the snacks he would eat during class, which involved, in any given day, an entire baguette. Not that he would eat the whole thing, but he would collect it. A whole baguette, an entire thing of chorizo. He would get like sliced meats as well. He would have hot dogs heated up in the microwave, a lime yogurt, which I thought was so gross, Lay's chips, those types of biscuits that are like for kids, but like, you know, they're biscuits.
Yeah.
And then he would also have, I think that's actually it. But it was like all those types of things. And we had to collect it all. We had to heat it up. We had to cut it. He would just eat it the whole time. I mean, we could barely get anything done. But it was like, but also I kind of liked it because when he wasn't looking, I would like steal some of it and eat it myself.
Yeah.
Not the yogurt. Not the yogurt. Literally, I was like, well, you have a whole bag of Lay's chips here. Like, I'm going to eat one.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that reminds me. Totally unrelated, but did you ever eat those mini yogurts for kids in France?
What? No, I could, girl, you know how broke I was?
They were so good. That was my weakness. Yogurt. They were like, it would come all the pack, attached together where you would have to like break one off. They were super tiny and they were all different colors and like each different color was a different flavor.
I think if you put a gun to my head and told me to like choose which ones those were in a supermarket, like I would die. I don't know. I don't think I've seen those before.
Oh my, you probably just have overlooked them, obviously, because they're for, like, kids. But, they were so good.
No, I overlooked them because they were out of my price range. 110%.
That too, but...
Lentil Queen. Anyway, I'm sure there's like 1,000 more stories I could tell, but we would be here for days. Mm-hmm. Days.
Yeah.
I did call a girl a pigeon because that's what her name translated to into English.
I remember you telling me the pigeon story. Yeah. As you mentioned, we could go on for days and days and days, but we've reached our limit. So if you too would like to get a postcard, you can give us a call at 202-630-4509, or you can send us an email at amessagefrompod@gmail.com. You can send us a voice note. You can DM us on Instagram at @amessagefrom. There are so many ways to reach us, so that is a thing you should do. You should also rate and review us on Apple Podcast or Spotify. Give us 5 stars. Please, please, please. We will love you forever. And lastly, but not leastly, you can find us at amfpod.com for the podcast, but also extras. We are going to be starting a new blog post series. So,
we're switching it up.
We need a refresh, a little spring refresh. So check out the blog for new, exciting content.
Yeah, I think you're up next. You're posting something next
with a recipe.
Okay, yes, because I know that we're going to be doing sort of a series, like you said.
Series, yeah. Recipes.
You'll be posting recipes, and what else are you going to do?
Book reviews. Mystery posts.
A mystery. Mysteries, murder mystery posts. And I'll be posting some language stuff.
Yes. So there's something for everyone.
Something for everybody. You should definitely check it out. amfpod.com.
Check it out, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.